Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate Nielsen, and today we're going to do a reading with the tarot and some oracle decks. We're going to ask, what can you do to bring some positivity into your life? And so we're going to do 3 different groups, so 3 different readings. So what I want you to do first is just go ahead and close your eyes and take a big deep breath. And on your exhale, you can go ahead and open your eyes. And I want you to tell me if you are attracted most to the Selenite crystal, the Smokey Quartz, or the Sodalite. So go ahead and pick the crystal that you feel most attracted to. And then that will determine which group you're in. And the timestamps for each group will be in the notes below. So we were going to start with the Selenite group. So today we're going to start with this really fun unicorn crystal deck. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's just pretty lighthearted, and since we're talking about how to bring positivity into our life, I thought we could have such a fun time with this deck. So let's go ahead and find out, Selenite group. What are some ways you can bring more positivity into your life? What are some ways you can bring more positivity into your life? Okay. So I just shuffle until I'm kind of told not to continue. And then we're going to cut the deck. And I'm going to pull 3 cards here. Okay, so we've got a couple court cards, but let's start out with this one. So this is the 2 of Pentacles. Can you see that? And this unicorn looks like he's having a pretty good time. He looks like he's got some abundance going on in the background. Maybe has some balance to do, some choices to make. And so what I think this is telling us in regards to our question, remember the question was, how do we bring more positivity into our life? I think the point of this card is trying to tell us, let's have some more fun with the choices we have to make and recognize the abundance that we have. See the ships in the background, like there's stuff happening, right? Ships bring abundance into our life in the tarot. So I think this is talking a lot about how do we balance out. So this is the infinity symbol with pentacles on each side. How do we create balance? Maybe have some fun, have some movement in our life. That might bring some more positivity. So looks like some movement, some having fun with choices that you need to make, and remembering your abundance. And then this one is the King of Swords. And if you look at this guy, he is going to be representing really thinking things through, leading even through logic, right? And so what this one is telling us is that we want to use our words carefully, so that might bring some more positivity into your life. We want to look at every possible angle before making any choices or changes. And so in regards to this one, we talked about like choices we have to make. Maybe, really using your logical brain right here to make those changes and have some fun with it, right? So this card is also really talking about like using our education. So all this yellow, the color, what the color represents, what I've been taught is that the yellow is really going to be about traditional education. So maybe you've got some studies that you've done. Maybe you can draw on kind of the knowledge that you know to make, to bring in some more positivity into your life. And again, I think it might have to do with choices this week. And this isn't a weekly reading, but this is just for right now. Okay, so then the next card is the Page of Wands. And he is reversed. So let's turn him over for a second just so we can look at him a little bit better. So the Page of Wands, he is about like bringing new creativity into our life. Okay, so this could be about, and because it's reversed, I'm going to go on that as being an internal thing. So how can you internally create some more stuff in your life? Be more creative. Bring more, fire into your life. This could also be saying that you might have a message of change, right? So it's funny, we're in this little reading here, we're getting a lot of messages of change. And so in terms of like positivity, I think it sounds like, as you're making these changes, to really look at how you can have some more fun. How can you can do it logically? How can you be creative with the changes that you're going to make? Okay, so let's go ahead and ask the angels. No, I'm sorry. Let's start with the Lenormand, actually. Let's just see if this Lenormand deck has any extra added advice for bringing in more positivity for the Selenite group. More positivity into their life and possibly into this change that they're going through. Okay, so this is the cross card, and the cross card is really representing just like, spirituality, religion, right? It's very traditionally about religion, but it doesn't have to be. It could be about spirituality. So really tuning into spirit, to what whomever you believe out there is guiding you, and maybe listening in a little bit. So bringing in more positivity by listening in, connecting to your higher self, connecting into the spiritual side of things. All right, speaking of that, let's talk up to the angels now. Okay, angels, how is the the Selenite group going to bring more positivity into their life? How is the Selenite group, how can they bring more positivity into their life? Okay. All right, this says giving and receiving. And so this card is just, kind of what it says, right? So how do we give and how do we receive? So giving, receiving is just as important as giving, as long as it's balanced, right? So this says the entire universe operates in cycles similar to your inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale, which is giving, or only inhale, which is receiving, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. And so that might be something you can do in your life. Maybe it's something with your family or your friends, or with this change that you're making, tuning into your higher self, having some fun, trying to be more logical. So yeah, that's what that is so far. Okay, now let's ask the guides. So we're going to look at the Spirit Guide deck. All right, Spirit Guides, what does the Selenite group want to do to add more positivity into their life? Okay. All right, so this says physical body, and it says Gaia. And so Gaia, Gaia is Mother Earth, right? And physical body. So how do we spend time grounding our bodies, nourishing our bodies, tuning into the rhythms of Mother Earth? And so this one's going to be about really spending time in nature, spending time grounding, spending time. So, when we ground, we can also connect into our intuition. Maybe that has something to do with giving and receiving. Maybe there's some sort of volunteer work you could do that helps take care of Mother Earth, which then would also be moving your body. So that's all very positive stuff. Very good. Okay, and lastly, for this part of our reading, we are going to ask the animals. Okay, animal spirits, what can the Selenite group do to bring more positivity into their life? Okay. Oh, this is the koi fish spirit. That says there's always enough. Look how pretty that card is. Oh, I love this deck. Okay, so this card is talking about remembering your abundance. There is so much abundance in this world. Every moment that we have on this planet is abundant, if you think about it. The breath that we breathe in is abundant. And like we were saying in this card, right, that there's so much abundance going on and so much abundance with the choices that you can make. So it looks to me like the way that the Selenite group can bring more positivity into their life is remember the abundance. Tune into your physical body. Tune into your intuition. You can do that by meditating. You could do this by grounding, by walking outside, spending time in nature. You can look at how do you give and receive, give back. And I think, really being logical in every choice you choose, bringing creativity into your life, recognize and accept that maybe there's some changes going on. I think so. Okay, and lastly, actually, I know I said lastly last time, but I like to pull this card. So this is called the Power of Love Activation Deck. And I like to pull one of these just to kind of leave us like, what love can we focus on this time? What love can we focus on right now to bring more positivity into our lives? Okay, and this says discernment. Okay, so through all of this, it says you are developing, there we go, you are developing the skill to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. So really just letting yourself discern when it's your ego brain, right? When it's not your higher self, because, our higher self is what's full of love, and the ego is what's full of fear. And so, tuning into the love is going to be really helpful to bringing in more positivity. Okay, well, I hope that this was helpful, and it looks like you got some good things going on here. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you feel like you want to support me, I would love for you to subscribe and take a look at my website, which is in the link below. I hope you're having a good day. Take care. Okay, welcome. This is the Smokey Quartz group. Isn't this a pretty little Smokey Quartz? I hope you can see it. I think it's just so great. Smokey Quartz is one of my favorites. Okay, so let's see. We're going to start with the tarot, and we're going to find out what the Smokey Quartz group, what you can do to bring more positivity into your life. So first, I knock out the energy from the last reading. Then we're just going to shuffle. So what can the Smokey Quartz group do to bring more positivity into their life? Ooh, that's kind of an awkward shuffle there. See if we can get these cards to go together. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to put those two cards aside. We're going to see what those have to say for us in a minute. I think we're going to pull one more card. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So we got interesting cards here. Okay, so let's start with the first one. So it's the Three of Swords, and it's reversed. If you can tell, this card is a little painful looking, right? So it kind of looks like you're heartbroken, is what it looks like. But we're talking about how do we bring positivity into our life, and it was upside down. And so the way I would read this card is that there is better skies ahead. If you could see all this stormy stuff here, that there is heart-opening stuff coming to you, that the wounds of your heart are healing. That's how I would say this, okay? And I think that, this rainbow here is balance. That's the way that means to me. And with balance, there's positivity coming. And so I would say that, focusing on all the good stuff to open your heart, that's where the positivity can come from. Okay, the next one is the Queen of Swords. We're going to see if you can see her. Okay, perfect. So the Queen of Swords is really about nurturing yourself through your mind. And so that's going to be really trying to keep your emotions in check, using your logical brain. We really want to have an unbiased perspective on things going on in our life. That's one way to kind of bring in positivity. All this pink in this card is really nurturing and really loving. And, the butterfly is really kind of acknowledging the transformation of life, right? So if you think about what you've been through right here, to turn this into positivity, we got to figure out and look at all the transformation that you've done. Really look at where you've come from and how well you've done. And I would say too, to really look at getting really clear with the words that you're using. So being really, really grounded when you're speaking to others and kind of how you're even talking about the situation actually. That's what I think this is saying is, your attitude and your perspective on what's happened is potentially keeping you in a negative place. So in terms of how to bring positivity into your life, we got to look at it in, our words are power, right? So how do we switch it? How do we nurture? How do we love ourselves? Okay. The next one is Two of Cups, and it's also reversed. So let's look at it this way just to see what the kind of the card's about. And so this card, traditionally, when it's upright, is all about love. It's about finding a partner. It's about celebrating life together. And because it's upside down, I would say that this is going to be about building that relationship with yourself in order to get to this point. So how we turn this card upright is by giving ourselves as much love and nurturing as we can through our thoughts. So really careful of how we talk to ourselves. Really careful of that. Recognizing that this will pass, that we will heal. We will heal. Time, right? Time heals. It really does. Okay, so let's ask the Lenormand deck, what can the Smokey Quartz group do to bring more positivity into their life? It's interesting that you picked Smokey Quartz, because Smokey Quartz is a really good grounding stone. And what it does is it helps us to ground into Mother Earth, which what that does is get you out of your head, right? So when we're emotional and we're going through tough times, it is hard to get out of our heads. And so it's interesting, that stone is very, very helpful with getting out of your head. Okay, so Lenormand, how can we bring positivity into our lives for the Smokey Quartz group? Okay. Ooh, the sun card. Okay, so the sun card is beautiful. This beautiful sun. Look how pretty that is. This card is just talking about remembering the light, right? Like the sun comes up every day to give you love and light and life, right? We wouldn't be able to live without our sun. And so just to kind of remember that abundance, right? That is so abundant that we have our sun to be able to live on this planet. Okay, let's ask the angels what they think about the situation. All right, so angels, what can Smokey Quartz do, the Smokey Quartz group, do to bring more positivity into their life? Oops, I did put that the wrong way. All right, what can the Smokey Quartz group do to bring more positivity into their life? Okay, so this card says energy work. And this is talking about, energy is everywhere. Everything has energy. We are emitting energy. Science has proven that even. They have also proven that energy cannot be destroyed or created. It's always there, right? And our thoughts are energy. The tables that we have in our, like the wood that we have in our house has energy, right? Like our plants, our animals, everything has energy. And so this card says, let me make sure you can see it. Life can be electrifying because its very essence is energy. Your body is a remarkable energy field that will positively respond to loving treatments. Your hands and heart are activated to give healing energy to your loved ones and clients, it says. And so what this means, I think, for you personally, is, again, it's reminding us to be kind to ourselves, to really give ourselves love. It says positively respond to loving treatments. So that's really important. It also talks about being able to, with our hands and our heart, to give healing energy to your loved ones. Well, you can give that to yourself. You can put your hands on your heart and take a deep breath and just tell yourself how much you love yourself and that you're healing and it's okay, and that you will be okay. And that is extremely powerful. I suggest you try that as soon as possible. All right, let's see what the guides have to say. Okay, spirit guides, what does the Smokey Quartz group, what can they do to bring more positivity into their life? What can the Smokey Quartz group do to bring more positivity into their life? Okay. So this says balance. All right, and this is from our divine teachers. So that's the type of guides this is from. And they are telling us that we need to balance. We need to have balance in our life. So what can that look like? Maybe it's making sure you get enough sleep and activity, right? Maybe it's talking about how much you eat junk food versus healthy food. Maybe it's talking about how much you give to others versus give to yourself. And so really looking at the balance, and that kind of goes with the energy work too, right? If we're giving a bunch to others, then we will be out of balance. And so what I think this is talking about is how do we find that inner love, inner peace, the nurturing for ourselves, remembering the sun, the light, to create the balance. Okay? All right, and then let's go ahead and ask the animal spirits, what do they have to say? Animal spirits, what does the Smokey Quartz group, excuse me, I'm having trouble shuffling here. What can they do to bring positivity into their life? Oh, the turtle spirit. All right, it's a slow and steady wins the race. So that makes sense, right? Because I think with the difficulties that I think you might have been going through with the heartbreak and the difficulties with how you treat yourself, then we just got to take one step at a time, right? We just got to take one step at a time. I tell my clients all the time about how we just got to do one thing. Show up every day to do one thing that nurtures yourself, that is logical, that takes you out of your head and into your body, right? Do one thing. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. And turtles are so loving. And they're so... Think about how they have this beautiful shell that protects their energy, right? Maybe it's also about protecting your energy, like only giving to people with whom you feel love with, right? And I don't mean romantic love necessarily, but people who you feel respected by, to look at it that way as well. Okay, so lastly, I like to end my readings with this Power of Love deck. And what we're going to do is we're just going to say, okay, what kind of love can we bring into this situation? So we're looking for positivity. What kind of love can we add to this situation? Okay. This one says detachment. So it says you are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. And so detach yourself, right? Detach yourself from the old expectations, the stuff that makes you feel bad, right? Detach yourself from what you hoped would happen in your life, from what you expected, and let yourself be nurtured. Let yourself take care of yourself. Let yourself come back to love. Because remember, fear is going to keep you out of balance. It's going to keep your energy low. It's going to not help you get there, like with the turtle, right? You're going to stay stuck in this place with this broken heart. And so remember, to move forward, we're going to detach from old expectations. We're going to recognize the stuff that doesn't serve us any longer. And we're going to really look at how to balance, how to nurture, remembering just to do one thing every day. Do one thing that makes you feel good. And that'll bring positivity back into your life. Okay, well, I hope this reading was helpful. I had fun doing it. I am sending you a ton of love. I know that through this stuff, it's not that easy, right? But I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you are interested in supporting me, you could definitely subscribe to my channel or check out my website, which is in the links below. Okay, I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and check back on Sunday for a weekly reading. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so this is for the Sodalite group. All right, can you see this beautiful piece of Sodalite? All right, I'm so excited that you picked it. Sodalite is a great stone. And, Sodalite is really about, our truth, our throat chakra. So that's going to be about speaking your truth. How do we communicate, stuff like that. So that's kind of cool you picked that one. We're going to start with this tarot deck, and this is the Unicorn Crystal Tarot deck. I'll have a link below. And I picked this one because we are looking at how to bring more positivity into our lives. And this is just a really fun, lovely deck that is very bright and happy. So let's go ahead and ask the cards for the Sodalite group. How can they bring more positivity into their life? For the Sodalite group, how can they bring more positivity into their life? For the Sodalite group, how can they bring more positivity into their life? That was a tricky shuffle. Okay. We're going to cut. And we're going to pull 3 cards. Okay, this is interesting. All right, so to start, we've got the Four of Swords, and it's upside down. And so let's look at it right side. So if we had pulled it this way, what this is saying is it's time to rest. It's time to rest your thoughts. It's time to rest all the negative thoughts that we sometimes have. It's time to rest the part of your brain that stresses and worries and does all that stuff. But the card was reversed. And so what I think that is saying is that internally, it's been really tricky. That voice in your head that tells you all that negative stuff, all that fear, I would call that the ego, that voice is non-stop. And it's time to slow down and try to ground, give yourself a ton of nurturing. All that pink in this card is nurture, nurture, nurture. The brown of this card is going to be about grounding. So grounding yourself. And so ways to bring in some positivity is going to be to let your brain chill out. So focus on grounding. Focus on what you can control. This card is the Three of Pentacles. And this card is all about working together. So how do we work together? How do we ask for help from people who know how to do stuff that we want to do in our lives, right? So like this guy right here, he's asking these guys, how do I do this? What do I do next? And they're working together. And so in terms of how do we quiet our brain down is how do we ask for help? How do we ask for help? So that could be, maybe that's talking to a trusted friend. Maybe it's talking to a therapist. Maybe it's talking to a family member. But how do we ask for help for really slowing down the fear and the chaotic brain that voice in our head that we all have? Okay, then the last card that we pulled for tarot is the Tower card. Now this card looks kind of scary, right? So we've got some unicorns falling off of this tower, and it's on fire. It looks like it got hit by lightning. If we're going to look at it as positivity, is to recognize that even if something like this is happening in your life, even if things are falling apart, that there will always be a chance to rebuild. We can always rebuild. We can always find, especially by working together, right? And you know what? I'm sorry, this is coming to me now. I think that this card in this reading is actually talking about let it fall apart. Let the ego constructs. So what that means is all that negative thinking, all the fear thinking, all the worries that you have, let it fall apart. Let it go away, right? If this building burns down, it's gone. So we're going to let it go away. And this is a major card, which means that this will be a major life change for you, a major life lesson, really. Okay, that's good. So we're going to let that all go. All right, let's see what the Lenormand deck has to say. All right. All right, so what does the Sodalite group want to do to bring more positivity into their life? So far they're going to quiet their mind. They're going to ask for help, work together with people, and they're going to let it all go. They're going to let it burn down and be okay with that and not scared. And I don't mean your life is going to burn down. I mean like let the habits, the habitual thought patterns go away. Okay. And this is the Snake card. Okay, so the Snake card, you know, snakes are interesting. They've got a lot of different meanings, right? They could be kind of tricky, kind of slithery, right? Kind of yucky, but they can also represent kind of freedom, right? So I would say that by doing this, by doing all of this, by quieting your mind, asking for help, letting it fall apart, letting your brain, your habitual thinking fall apart, there'll be freedom. There'll be freedom with that. That's what I think that's saying. All right, let's talk to the angels next. All right, angels, what can the Sodalite group do to bring more positivity into their life? What can the Sodalite group do to bring more positivity into their life? You know what? I'm going to shuffle actually one more time, and I'm going to do it this way. Sometimes I just get some intuitive thoughts about switching it up. They're not quite ready to shuffle. For the Sodalite group, what do they want to do to bring more positivity into their life? Okay. Okay, this says the Ocean. And so this card says, here, let me show it to you. It says, the deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. So this is just the loving nature of water. So I agree with this card. You just imagine yourself being at the ocean if you don't have an ocean nearby. I'm personally landlocked, can't do that. But just thinking about getting into the water, feeling it rushing over you, feeling the waves and the current kind of flowing around you, it can feel very comforting, right? Very, very comforting. And, water in general is really healing. And so when we're talking about taking all this down, right? Like giving yourself a rest, asking for help, letting it all fall to the ground, then cleanse yourself. That could even be by taking a shower or a bath. That could be drinking a lot of water even. Like make sure that you're really hydrated because water is so healing and so cleansing. So that's a good message, angels. All right, so the guides, let's see what our spirit guides have to say. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle this way. So what does the Sodalite group want to know to bring more positivity into their life? Okay, so this one says celebration, and it's from our joy guides, and that looks lovely, right? Let's celebrate life. There's so much to celebrate. This feels heavy, this feels difficult, right? But when we do these things, then we can bring celebration into our life. We can have a positive attitude, right? Attitude is everything. We can celebrate. So celebrate with friends and family who you love. Celebrate with yourself. You could even one thing I love to do when I'm eating alone is, set the table, get candles out, do what you would do if you had company coming over. Celebrate, spend loving time with yourself and with others, of course. But in this, but sometimes we have to just be by ourselves, right? So definitely do that. Okay, so the next deck we're going to talk to, or group of spirits we're going to talk to, is our animal spirits. And let's see what they want to tell us. So Sodalite group, what do they want to know, or what can they do to bring more positivity into their life? So animal spirits, what does a Sodalite group want to know about bringing more positivity into their life? Okay. All right, this is the antelope group. And this says that life is speeding up. And the antelope spirit, this one is telling you that action is coming. Action is being taken. Think how fast antelopes run. And they're always in a group, so they're together, they're asking for help. And so I think that, this stuff is happening, but action, there's a movement coming in your life. This is going to create movement. So I think this is talking a lot about having faith that things are going to shift and change for you. Have faith. So going through this stuff, the cleansing, recognizing the freedom, celebrating, and keeping faith that everything is going to come together and feel better as time goes on. Okay, then lastly, I like to end my reading with the power of love activation cards. And we're just going to see, what love do we need to bring to this situation? What love can we bring to this situation? What love can we bring to this situation? Okay, and it says elevation. So you are making conscious decision to raise your vibration of love. And so this is talking a lot about how do we elevate ourselves. And this is one way to do it, to break it all down, break the old habits. Elevate yourself. Give yourself a break. Cleanse yourself with the water and give yourself all kinds of love. And that will help to elevate you and to make sure that you tune into the vibration of love. And so what that means is sometimes you have to start with yourself, right? Sometimes you have to give yourself all that love, like this card is saying, right? We're nurturing, we're grounding, we're giving ourselves all kinds of love. And that is a way that we have a high vibration. And if we're stuck in fear, if we're stuck in worry thoughts, then we are keeping ourselves at a low vibration. Okay, I would love to hear your comments. I'm here for you if you need anything. If you need any ideas on how to do any of this, please let me know. Like I said, I'm here for you. If you'd like to support me and the channel, please subscribe. And if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. I really enjoyed reading for you, and I hope you have a really good rest of your day. And check out my links below. Okay, take care.